Hi guys, it's Amber from Amber Eats Books, and I'm here today to do the Anything But Books tag. I saw this tag on Laura's channel. Her channel name is Nargle Catcher. I will leave it linked down below. And I just really enjoyed hearing her answers, and it was different because, again, it wasn't about books, so I was just ecstatic. I was like, I want to do this. Even though she hadn't tagged me, I told her in the comments, I want to do this. I think I'm going to. And she's like, well, then I tag you. So I'm really excited to do it. I will also leave the original creator, who was Katie from Readorrot. I'll leave her video down below as well so you guys can check it out. Question number 1, name a cartoon or cartoons that you love. In the more recent years, I have definitely had like a love affair with Teen Titans Go. My kids started watching it and they were just laughing, and you know, as a parent you just end up sitting down and kind of watching whatever they're watching, and I thought it was like hilarious. There were a couple parts in there where Raven talks about her love of books, and that kind of hooked me, and I was just laughing, and I was like, this show is actually really funny. And then as a family we kind of binged the entire, you know, last few seasons of it, and it was so good. There are just things that are put in there that kind of go over the kid's head. Not that they're like inappropriate or anything, but there's things in there like about retiring and 401ks and mortgages and things that kids normally wouldn't get that much exposure to, but in cartoon form they're actually explaining what they are, and it's kind of funny and kind of educational sometimes. Though there are those times where it's just dumb humor and there's no point to it and it's like them farting or something, but we as a family really enjoy that cartoon. We also started watching recently Troll Hunters on Netflix, which we've really gotten into that, so we kind of like that too. But those are just a couple of recent ones. I mean, I watched so many cartoons over the years. When I was a kid, I loved like Rainbow Bright, David the Gnome, the Popples, the Gummy Bears, if anyone remembers those. A lot of the Disney cartoons like Darkwing Duck and what was that one? God, the name's slipping my mind, but it was like Chip and Dale. They were like rescuers, and there was like Gidget, and I just loved that. And there were so many of those like 90s cartoons. Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, those were all on Disney Channel. I loved all of those. I also watched like X-Men and Gargoyles and just pretty much anything you can think of from the 80s and 90s. I've at least watched once. And then as my kids were growing up, obviously there was like SpongeBob and Jimmy Neutron, and I liked Roly Poly Oly at one point. I liked, I'm trying to think of a couple others. Pepper Ann. Anyone ever watch Pepper Ann? So needless to say, I just love cartoons. I also have watched pretty much every Disney animated movie that has ever been released, so a lot of those are my favorites. I'm like a Disney fanatic, so cartoons, I've probably seen at least an episode of pretty much anyone that's been out there for the last few years. Question number 2, what is your favorite song right now? I don't have a real favorite song at the moment. Maybe 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. That might be, when it comes on the radio, I kind of turn it up and I'm kind of, you know, singing along and dancing to that one. But there hasn't been like a song that like I've been obsessed with lately, because I don't really listen to a lot of music. I read a lot of books, I watch a lot of TV, and the only time I listen to music is really in the car. I will say I love Pandora, and I listen to like Disney, a lot of Disney songs in my house, and a lot of Broadway. My oldest daughter Kaylee loves Broadway, and I've always loved Broadway, so we normally have that station on Pandora when we're doing stuff around the house. But yeah, don't have like a real song that I'm obsessed with at the moment. Hoping one comes up soon, because I love that feeling when you can't get enough of something, but right now just don't have one. Question number 3, what could you do for hours that isn't reading? This is gonna be lame, but it's probably gonna be watch TV. I have always loved TV. When I was growing up, I had a separated household, so I lived with my mother. My dad, I visited him on the weekends and in the summer. At my mom's house, we weren't really allowed to watch a lot of TV. It was very restricted, and it had to be certain kinds. I watched a lot of Disney Channel things, but even so, we had time restrictions and whatnot, so I kind of always felt like, oh, I just want to watch a lot of TV. At my dad's house, when I'd visit him on the weekends or during the whole summer, he had no rules about the TV, so I could watch pretty much anything I wanted and as much as I wanted, and so for me, sitting down and being able to like binge watch a TV show, even to this day, feels like something special. So I love watching TV, though I've been much better lately about having more of that equal balance between watching TV and reading. For a while there, it was more leaning towards the TV, but in the last, 2 years, I've been kind of balancing it out more and more, and now I read quite a bit more than I watch TV, but that's definitely something that I could still do. I've been binge watching Gilmore Girls for the last couple of weeks, so anytime I have a free hour or two, that definitely goes on the TV. Question number 4, what is something you love to do that your followers would be surprised by? I read this question earlier when I was writing it down, and I was like, I don't know if I have anything that I do that they would be surprised by. I think something that I do that, as much as I just like to sit around and read and watch TV, I guess one thing that would surprise people who didn't know this about me is I like to hike in the warmer months. I am not a hiker in the winter. I still see people on the hiking trails in the winter. I'm like, that is just not me. I am so sensitive to cold, it's not even funny. I'm normally bundled up. I have, slippers and a robe and everything because I'm always freezing in the winter. So just the thought of going outside to hike is not something I would even think about. But as soon as that weather warms up, I love to be out in nature. I love to hike. I could just do that. That's another thing I guess I could do for hours. That kind of works for question number 3 as well. My family and I we love it. We have a few favorite hiking places, but we love to go out and explore and find new ones at least once or twice a year to kind of add to our hiking repertoire, if you can even say that. I don't know if that's even like the right thing to say, but yeah, definitely hiking. I love taking pictures, and I'm such a nature photography kind of person. I just love taking pictures of nature. It's so beautiful, and I like to try to capture it. So I guess that is one thing that maybe if you only know me through BookTube, you wouldn't really know. So hopefully that answers the question. Number 5, what is your unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? I don't know if I have anything unnecessarily specific, but I am a weird person when it comes to learning about things. I just kind of latch on to a topic, and normally, I will be honest, the topic is normally a phobia of mine. So at one point in my life, I was terrified of tornadoes. I used to have like reoccurring nightmares about tornadoes over and over and over again. So in order to get over that phobia, I went and watched and read and just did anything I could to learn about tornadoes, how they were formed, how you could prevent, stay safe during one, and things like that. And the more I saw that I was learning about it, the more I felt better about it. And now it's not really a phobia anymore. I used to be like the kind of kid that would like look out the window at the slightest breeze and be like, oh my God, there's gonna be a tornado. So I like learning about my phobias, which may seem odd and sometimes counterproductive because it does bring up anxiety, but overall I think it kind of helps me. So lately I have been so obsessed with diseases and death that I haven't really researched anything thoroughly. I have read a lot of near-death experience things and just the process of dying, what kind of the body goes through and those sorts of things, but I want to learn more about specific diseases and whatnot, even though I have a medical phobia as well. So that kind of will help me get out of my medical phobia a little bit, because I feel like if I know more about it, I will be more prepared and it won't seem quite so scary. So I guess that is something unnecessarily specific. I mean, death is a little morbid to want to learn about, but question number 6, what is something unusual you know how to do? Now, I was thinking about this, and those weird things that people do and you're like, oh God, why? I don't really have one of those per se, except, now you guys won't be able to hear this because obviously I'm recording it and it's just too quiet to kind of pick up on the sound here. But my ears, both of them, the cartilage in it when I press on them cracks all the time. And it'll feel almost like a bone, when you feel like you have to crack your knuckles. I sometimes get that pressure in my ear and I have to push on it and crack it, which a lot of people that I've come in contact with can't do. They think it's disgusting. They think it's weird. Even my husband gets a little sometimes when I do it right on him, if he's annoying me, I'll put my ear to him and crack it, because it's something I guess a lot of people don't know or don't have the ability to do. So I thought that was funny when I kind of grew up and learned, oh, that's not normal. People don't people's ears don't normally crack like that, but mine do. So I guess that's something unusual that I know how to do. I don't know if it's I know how to do, but just something I can't do. Question number 7, name something you've made in the last year and show us if you can. Now, one other thing that I like to do in my spare time is I do like to cook. I did go to a culinary school when I was younger, and I really do enjoy it. It is not something I want to have a career in by any means, which I'm glad I learned that early on in my life, but it is something that I like doing in my spare time. I'm not always a master chef every single night. There's nights where we just heat up whatever is around and that's what we have. But on those, few occasions and times where I'm really in the mood to try out new recipes, I find it really fun and exhilarating. So recently for my daughter's 14th birthday, I made a homemade cannoli cake. I will insert a picture of that here. So as you can see, I had fun making it. It looks really good, it looks delicious, and it was delicious. So that is definitely something that I make quite often. I make things quite often, normally dessert type things, but I do, try out new recipes for dinner and whatnot, and they're fewer and far between lately because of work and whatnot, but I really do enjoy doing that from time to time. Question number 8, what is your most recent personal project? And that would definitely have to be this channel. It is the only project that I've started in recent months and actually have kept up with and actually feel like it has become a part of my life. I'm one of those people that I start a lot of projects, but I don't always finish a lot of projects. So I'm really proud that I have stuck with this and done this for so long. Number 9, tell us something you think about often while maybe staring out windows. These questions are funny. I guess when I'm staring out windows, I'm just one of those people that like ponder life. Like I'll be in the shower thinking about space and how small it makes us seem in comparison, and just I'll think about how, bees make honey and how did that come to be and why, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just a deep thinker and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm sitting there thinking about my to-do list that I have to get done. So pick a time in the day and you'll probably get a different answer for that question almost every time. Number 10, give us something that's your favorite, but make it oddly specific. Not like your favorite food, but like your favorite food when you've been studying for hours and forgot to eat. I like to have, this is hard to think of something that specific. I guess after like a really, really stressful day, my biggest thing that, it's gonna be food related because now they've got my brain on the food track. After a really, really stressful day, the biggest thing I want to have is like a bowl of ice cream. And if I really, really have been craving it and really want it, normally it's on a hot summer's day and normally I've been like just wanting to relax. I don't know why, but soft serve ice cream, vanilla chocolate twist with rainbow sprinkles is like my ultimate comfort food. That no matter what, that food will make me happy. And a lot of places around here don't serve soft serve. It's kind of more rare, especially good soft serve. So if I see anywhere that has soft serve, I don't care if I ate 5 minutes ago, I'm going to buy some and I'm going to eat it because it just makes me so darn happy. I could like go without a lot of food. Like if I was dieting, I could go without so much, but soft serve ice cream with rainbow sprinkles is not one of those things I could go without. I would probably cry if I had to walk past a stand and not buy some. Question 11, say the first thing that pops into your head. Cherry pie. I just saw a recipe for it recently today and it looked really good. It's like these cherry pie brownie bar things, and I think I might have to make that soon. So maybe on my Instagram, you guys will catch a picture of that if and when I'm able to get around to making it. So, and that wraps up the anything but books tag. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about me. Some things maybe you shouldn't have learned about me, but whatever. I'm open, I'm honest, I don't care. I had a lot of fun doing it. I am not gonna tag anyone specifically. If you see this and you want to do it, please, by all means, go ahead. I hope you guys enjoy doing it as much as I did. Have a great week and happy reading.